No problem. Okay, so we're live. This is Elixir Mob number 77, believe it or not. Mike, have you watched all the previous videos? All 76? Well, you attended some of them.
Yeah, I've only attended 2 or 3. I haven't watched all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I expect you to watch. I expect you to watch them all.
I will make an effort of doing that.
Mike is telling me that he read all of he's gotten caught up on the Rails 5 book already, and
Oh, nice.
And, looking forward to getting caught up on the Elixir book.
Yeah, you really should, Mike. It really explains things very well, and it should take you, a couple weeks. You could do it in a week if you really wanted to. But if you're doing other stuff, maybe in a few weeks you can get caught up to us, because we're not going super fast.
If you really wanted to, and you don't have kids,
Yeah. Well, okay.
You don't have kids, do you, Federico?
No kids.
Yeah. All
right. Mike's got I don't know. I hear him sometimes. I don't know how many Mike has.
2.
2. Okay.
Yeah, both less than 2 years old.
Oh no. Start reading them the Elixir book to go to bed. It'll put them right to sleep. They'll be like, "This is boring. I'm going to bed." So kind of like what happened yesterday with the Rails 5 TDD mob. A week ago, I had to go to a different meeting right at 8:30 my time, and we left this in a broken state, kind of like we did yesterday, because I think we ran out of time yesterday. Let me make sure it's locked on my screen. Yeah, okay. And so, Mike, if you want to help me set up the C9, we could run the test. And I actually figured out what we did wrong. It was just a couple minor things.
I already ran the tests.
Did you start the C9, or did you not the C9? The Postgres.
No,
you want to do that?
Okay.
Oh, hey, Federico, I forgot to tell you. I guess I just saw you, but I was moving stuff from the AV box to the AVP box yesterday, and one of the projects I needed to move was the Paranauts, and there's when you push up the app with using Heroku build packs, it takes up a lot more space on the box, and we're critically running out of space on a lot of boxes. Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but on a some box. And so I Dockerized my first Elixir app yesterday.
Oh, I saw that really long conversation you and Joao were having. Is this the Alpine Elixir Phoenix Docker image that you're talking about?
Uh-huh.
Nice. So you actually converted Paranauts into you Dockerized it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, I didn't really do any work. I just kind of found someone who was using Elixir Phoenix Alpine, and I just copied and pasted his what he was his image, and then his setup steps, and I ran into a couple gotchas. It worked right away, and then I thought I was smarter than. And so I was like, oh, why am I exposing port 5000? I think I want to be exporting 80 and mapping from 80 to 5000, blah, blah, blah. And then it started breaking, and And then in the end, I ended up just reverting back to what his was. And then, it's all working. We don't have I guess there's no Postgre database, though, for some reason. I guess Paranauts just doesn't use. But, anyways, I thought that was really cool.
So. I don't think so. They were driving, kind of what they like to do, purely simple, bare bones, get the least amount of work to get the most amount of functionality. And I don't believe, they even needed Postgres yet. So I was happy when they finally added the when they got Brent to do the logo.
Yeah.
For a while they're like, you know, they're kind of like getting some work done with some, you know, using channels and WebSockets, but they were still using that, you know, Phoenix boilerplate logo.
Yeah, I remember that. When I first joined the Elixir Mob, we
Yeah.
were doing that stuff, and it was like, yeah, it's just like the Phoenix logo.
Oh, we need to kickstart that one again, especially since you got it Dockerized now.
Yeah.
That's cool. So here, yeah. So let's run the test. So yeah, in the background, Mike's been running through all the commands there, which is starting Postgres, starting Phantom.js, and he started the Phoenix server. I guess while you run the test, Mike, if you would, I'll open up the app. And remember, it's a mixed test to run the test. And yeah, we got the app.
One thing I thought that was a bit strange is that, like, I think the image uses like Elixir 1.7, but then like the Paradox is on 1.6. But
Okay.
like maybe it's not locked on 1.6. I don't know. Like,
let's see, how would you do that? I guess you would. Well, yeah, unless you run like a command to upgrade it within the container, I think you would be locked into 1.7, and that's fine. It would work just fine.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of surprising though, because if you tried to do that with Rails, like, I don't think you could just. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I guess like I've gotten Met Plus to work with upgrading Ruby, but then like when you run the test, all the tests fail. So we couldn't like actually get it pushed through to develop or to production. You know,
Upgrading from what to what?
like upgrading the Ruby version or upgrading the Rails version. You know, it's
Well,
like,
I mean, yeah, I could see Rails. I could see it breaking on Rails, but on terms of like Ruby, like the actual language and Elixir, I think you have a little bit more room to make jumps.
yeah, I mean, it like works. Like the site, you could go and visit the site, and like if you're a user, you wouldn't really notice any difference. But like when you run the test, all the tests were failing because of like new, I don't know, like different syntax and I don't know.
So I do want to note. So I thought I changed it back to the broken state, but I guess I didn't. So I can't do that. Let me double check. So let me go back to the book. By the way, we are in chapter 1, 2, 3. We are in chapter 6, at the end of 6. And we just about have it done, except for these couple of errors, which I think I kind of left them fixed. I thought I broke them again. And so what we did quickly is we added essentially asynchronous AJAX request to the cart to update the cart. And yeah, so that was this code here. We kind of looked at the branch config a little bit. Right. So here's user story quickly. As a customer, I want to add products to my cart quickly without a page reload. Yeah, so specifically when you're like clicking on this, I'll just show you add to cart, and it might actually work. Yeah, we got it working. So this is broken. And yeah, first of all, before last week, you would have to like reload the entire thing. Like a hard reload, essentially. But now we got this notification. It's using growl notifications.
Oh, nice. I've used this before.
Cool. We did have this kind of broken. Let's see. So, okay. Yeah, actually, never mind. I did leave it broken. So why is it? So, Mike, when you ran the server, did you get like an error message?
Yeah.
You did. Is that
So
this one here?
there was something about IX.
Yeah.
IEX.
Yeah,
So that's this one here, right?
I can't scroll up anymore.
Yeah, me neither. So this is a test. Yeah.
I think I wanted to say that, but then you asked me to run the tests, and then I forgot.
Yeah, no problem. So the issue, so that's what we were having last time, and it got stuck. I'll just sort of like restart it, and I'm not. So that's Phantom.js. Okay, so let me restart that. Which could you go to the terminal that you're on for the server, and then I'll go to that one. This one is for Phantom.js. So you have another one. Let's see. Could you just stop the server, Mike?
Stop the server. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, you can either push A or Control C again.
It's Control C.
Yeah, and a shortcut for most of these, like, you know, servers and things like that, is if you do Control \. And so you only have to do it once instead of twice with Control \. So I'm just gonna restart the server so we can see that error message. And right here. So if we just look at it, could not load module Ajax dash cart, and we actually wanted Ajax underscore cart. But so that's an easy fix. We just have to go to our app.js and modify that. And that makes it go away. So this is our file here. And just how this file works quickly again is we have our cart form, which let's see if I can find it quickly. Use cart form here. So we have our cart form, and when we submit something, so this is like, let me make sure this is running. Yeah. So here, and if I go back to the Ajax cart, so when we submit it, it calls this other function, Ajax handler, up here. It blocks the submit. We'll have the form action URL, which is post, or yeah, the data, which is the cart form params, and that'll get submitted into this. It'll essentially do a post to what would it be, to cart, right? Dash cart, I think. And then it'll, yeah, response. Yeah, so this is the, like, the callback of the post. It'll then call bootstrap growl with the message of either successful or not. And it'll do a little bit of, so this is, by the way, this is all using jQuery. So with jQuery, it'll find our cart count up here and just modify it. So this is essentially that whole thing. What I just walked through was that right there. So yeah, so we fixed that, and then the other error message was these were causing. I added these earlier because we had that delete thing where we had this in the wrong spot, and this was actually breaking the test. But it looks like it's no longer breaking the test if I rerun it again. And and I think it was just like slowing it down. But it looks like it's actually fine. But I do want to take these out. So we got that fixed, and we're at 29 tests. So with that, we are done with chapter 6 finally. And
Woo-hoo.
excuse me if I'm a little emotional, but we've been in chapter 6 for ever. Actually, I think maybe since January. I don't even, like, it hurts me to say that. But we took like a long break for Paranauts.
Yeah.
And for like something else, no? I forgot. Maybe not. No, maybe we were like in chapter 5. But let's see here. We did have to change this because if you look at, I don't think I can show this quickly enough. Maybe I can actually. We did used to have the previous version of when we weren't using Growl. It was just kind of like a red orange flash up here, and it had like an alert class. And then when you end up, we ended up having to modify this. Let me try to catch it. So Growl will give us an alert success class. So we changed the alert in our cart test. Let me see if I can catch it. Right there. Yeah, it went away right away. Let me just show it one more time. So right there, alert success. So and that's in this test. Where is it? Was it the cart test? Gosh, we have a lot of tests. Let me double check. It was in, yeah, cart test acceptance. I'm not in the test. Tests are down here. So this is a test that we were in for a long time. And we just changed it from alert to alert success. Yeah. So, you know what I want to do is take this out, because if we go to get status, you'll see I forgot exactly why we added these take screenshots, but we did it for some reason. And now every time we run the test, we're getting all these. So I'm going to take that out while I'm here, and I'll go ahead and delete all these.
We did we did that take screenshot because we were debugging that thing that Sam had left in there, and like it was breaking the site for us in the browser, but then all of our tests were passing, so we were trying to understand why would our experience in like going to the browser be that much different than
That's right, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but when I pushed up last week, I noticed those. And so while I was there, I just commented that out. So finally, chapter 7. Chapter 7. What are we doing in chapter 7? Checkout. So it's high level. Here are the user stories. As an anonymous user, I should be redirected to the login page during checkout. So if I want to check out, I have my cart over here. Let me go to the cart. And well, we don't have a checkout right now, but we're about to add it like a checkout button. And I'm not signed in. when I try to go to the checkout, I should be redirected to a login page. So I think we're gonna do that first, and then later we'll do, as a customer, I want to complete my purchase through a checkout process. So yeah, this is the first user story. If we break out the specs a bit, checkout link will be present on cart. So that's what I was just alluding to. We need like a button or a link, I guess. If the customer is not logged in, redirect the user to the login page. When the checkout link is clicked, on successful login, redirect the user back to the checkout page. Right now, if we try to log in, it'll redirect us to the home page. And on successful login, reuse the same card information created before the user was redirected to complete the login. So yeah, saving the state of our cart. So let's add the checkout link. And so we're gonna start with the route first. So I've done kind of a lot of, it's not really driving there, but like explaining things. Matt, are you like ready to go? Do you wanna?
I am ready. I am in. You can see me inside the C9.
Okay.
Where's the link for the C9? I mean, yep. What file are you on again? That's.
We're gonna go to the router right away.
Oh, the router. Yeah, it'll take me just a minute to find the router because, jumping between languages. Sometimes it's like difficult to keep it all. It's like, the router. It's like, what are the differences between the routers and
I love the way you're stalling. Yeah.
I mean, they don't even live in the same place. They're like, you have to remember like what's Mango Web. I guess it would be Mango Web, right? Because Mango Web deals with the stuff to do with the web. Okay, yeah, I'm there already.
Yeah. You were just breaking it down for us, right?
Yeah. I just want to make sure that Mike is up to speed with what we're doing.
Mike's on top of things.
Speaking of being up to speed on what we're doing, checkouts. Yeah, we're going to edit the checkout.
Yeah. So, so this is interesting because we're going to do a little bit of sort of, I guess it would be refactoring. Yeah, it's sort of like moving things around here in a minute in the router file based on, I guess it's authorized and unauthorized users. Sorry, authenticated and unauthenticated users. So we'll do that here in a minute. But if you want, go ahead and just add that, and then we'll just move it later.
I'm gonna add it after. Is this Federico here? Yeah, that's Federico. Who's that? That's Mike. All right. Just you don't have auto formatting here, do you? Checkout, and that checkout is gonna probably go to the cart controller, I would imagine.
No, we're actually gonna create a brand new controller, checkout controller.
Oh, checkout wow! Look at that.
And our first action will be the edit action.
Edit. Yes, because the edit action is not actually going to update the items. It's just going to retrieve the form that that's why it's a GET request, right?
Yes. It's not like a put.
Yeah, it's from here.
So I guess since you did that, Mike hasn't really technically typed in any code. He's been like running the terminals for us. Mike, do you want to add this line for us here? So this will be in our cart, in our show of our cart. So lib mango web templates cart show. And yeah, so what we're doing now is we're adding the link that I was referencing earlier, the checkout link. And the way this works is we use a link, like a helper function. This will be like the actual text of the link. And oh, by the way, you can add it. I guess let me see exactly where he adds it.
Am I creating the file?
No. It's the one we've been using for. It's the show for the cart.
Lib Mango Web Show. I can't see Lib Mango Web Show.
You cannot, or you can.
I cannot. Oh, inside cart. Okay.
Yeah, cart show. Yeah.
Mango. I can't see cart.
Let me see.
Or am I looking in the wrong?
Yeah, I found it. It's
in templates.
Yeah, in templates. This is an embedded Elixir file. And so it's lib, mango web, templates, cart. Cool. And then he actually adds it at the bottom. I just saw the entire file here. So he adds it above the first end there. And I guess I can make this bigger just in case. And if you want to try to type that out, Mike, I'll continue explaining this. It's a link helper function. The text will be checkout. Then this is the, what's it called again? The helper path for the checkout. You always want to add the con as a first argument, and this is our action. And so our helper paths are generated off of our router file. So so when we reference edit as our action, it will generate it off that router line that writer just added. That was a lot of router.
Right.
And this is pretty straightforward. Just adding some classes to our link. It's gonna make it into a button, I guess, on the right side. So can I move away? Do you have it? You got it. And yeah, that looks good. Don't forget the closing brackets for the embedded Elixir. And it's just percent. Yeah, exactly. I guess I'm tempted to just look at that. And it's reloading automatically for us. And there it is over here. It's kind of a weird spot. See, I would put it like up here. I don't know if we want to be rogues or rebels and put it up top instead. Like, it seems weird over here.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd put it like under here either, because that, yeah. Do you want to try that, Mike? Just move it all the way to the top.
The only thing is that like if the list kind of gets long, like you might be at the bottom looking at like the order total. But I think if it's at the top, you're more likely to be able to see it, and then if you can scroll back up if you want to.
Yeah, actually, I thought you were going to mention that our notifications will. Well, actually, maybe when we delete one. So let me try to delete one.
How top is top?
So actually, we're still using this kind of the prior one. How top is top. So
I have it after.
I would put it like after the H1, I think. Okay. No, actually, maybe before it. Yeah. Let's try that. So when you save that, I'll stay on this page, and it should just reload automatically. Yep. Yeah, I think I like that better. So let me delete something quickly. And yeah, that's not bad. We might even modify this to a growl, but actually for right now, it actually works out better. Great, so we got that. So let's keep going. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we still have half an hour. Everyone's on board, right? Understands what we're doing, right? We're like essentially going through a whole cycle of the model view controllers.
Mm-hmm.
We're not using models. I'm sorry, we're not using models as of Phoenix 1.3. And I take that back. We're not even like having to do anything with the data application layer, data layer. So we're just sort of doing like more like route, controller, view, cycle. So moving on to
The sprinkle of Ajax.
say that again.
Sprinkle of Ajax.
Yeah. Well, that was at the end. We were just wrapping that up there at the end of the last chapter. But like, yeah, what we're doing now is started off with the router. A little bit in the show. Yeah, so it's actually view. Yeah, we're working a little backwards. So now we need the controller. So this is like when we actually click on the button. So if you notice, we're referencing the edit action right here. This is the edit action definition. And so when we click on it, when we click on our checkout button, we want to be taken to this edit HTML file. And so let's do that. Ryder, do you want to do that?
Yes. Ryder or Matthew Ryder.
Oh, yeah.
Unless Ryder's joined us that I didn't.
Mr. Ryder. I'm sorry, Mr. Ryder.
Yes, then you address me. Sorry. Yes. Checkout controller, huh? I don't have a checkout controller on mine.
Yeah, that's it.
So I need to create a checkout controller, I guess. Yep. I'm just trying to think like, so yeah, the Mango web would be, that's where the controllers are. Because the Mango is like dealing with like stuff that touches the database, right? Okay, yeah. Yep. That's all right, cool. Let me close stuff, not open stuff. So then I like the way of, doing new files and new folders in VS Code. Like it's actually made it to where I like doing it in the terminal, but like VS Code makes it so simple to do it through VS Code that it's like kind of, all right. So now we've got a new checkout thing, and I don't know. Joseph's trying to get me to do things without like cheating off of, well, not cheating, without looking at the how things are done on the other things that I've done. But I don't remember what we need to.
Well, see, there you go. So there's a case for actually doing that. It's a balance you have to strike. Like sometimes you're working fast, but sometimes you're trying to learn. So you have to maybe give it a shot, and then if you got nothing, then copy a little bit.
I mean, I think I definitely need to import something, right?
Sort of, yeah. We're going to use our use macro for the Mango web controller, pull in all that functionality. But like, how do you define a module so that?
I think you define module, no?
Mm-hmm. Just like almost every. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just trying to see how to delete the But this I think has something more as well. It's not this simple, is it?
Yeah, you have to. So it's very important in Phoenix that even more important than like the organization of your files in like the folders, like where they're actually located. Even more important than that is the actual name of it.
Naming convention.
Yeah, so you would want to preface it right there with Mango Web.
Right. Mango Web. Oh.
And this is like the opposite in Rails, where it's more about where files are located.
Is it? I'm not sure that's correct though. Those don't know. I think it's like a dot or something.
Yeah.
Why didn't it change colors? Like this makes me think it's right because it changes colors. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But yeah, it's wrong.
Doesn't matter what it makes you feel like it's wrong. Why is this for 2?
Why are you doing that?
Then we do what's the edit is what we're doing. Edit, and that's going to take in a con because everything takes in a con. And then it's going to take in like some params that we're not going to use or something.
Params. We might actually use params. No, we're not going to use params.
Yeah, because taking in the con is going to have like the idea of what we want to edit, right? So I don't need to pass that in.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to have a lot of things. So we do want to render the edit. The edit, what am I trying to say? Edit template, edit view. So how do you do that? Mike, do you know?
Nope. I'm not sure. I'm even sure what you're asking.
Oh, how do we tell the controller? How do we tell the controller to tell Phoenix to render the edit view template?
Return the template?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy.
So we dealt with this a little bit last week.
Okay, yeah.
Other render function. And we're going to call it with the con. And here I think he uses edit like this. As I was telling like Ryder a couple weeks ago, I prefer to use an atom like this. That way, this is like an easy way. This is something I love that you can just, if we call, so this maybe doesn't matter so much here, but you could call like a JSON file just based on this. Sort of like with the events. So thinking of it like that. So how we've been dealing with events, how you guys have been dealing with events.
Yeah.
So instead of doing like, events JSON and doing some ifs, redirect tos, even dealing with rape and all that functionality. I mean,
respond to, do, and then have a block of like what it responds to. You can just put an atom, and then that says like that it can respond to both of those, right?
Exactly. However, here we just go with that version. Let me double check that. Yeah. And I think I got this right. Use. Yeah. Okay. So moving on is now we have to add the view, and then we're going to add the template. So who wants what? We don't have the view yet.
Okay.
And we don't have the template yet.
So I guess templates are something that I don't really have a lot of experience with, because they're like, I don't know. I mean, I don't I don't want to compare it to Rails all the time. I'm trying to get out of the habit of doing that. But they're like helper methods, right?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Yeah, we talked about them last week, but it's good to keep reviewing it because it'll
burned into our brains. We have Rails burned into our brains.
Yeah, a little bit. It's fine to compare because Phoenix is so influenced by Rails, and it's absolutely fine to compare it to try to get a hold of how it is. But yeah, it's template. I was telling Daniel and Mike last week that really a view is like a view in Rails, except if you want to do that comparison thing, a view is more like a helper in Rails.
Oh, it's the opposite. Yeah, it's the opposite. Templates are the okay. Sorry. Yeah.
And
that's what I meant.
templates. Yeah, I know. And templates are like the sort of like your view folder. I'll go with that instead. It's sort of like your views folder in Rails. Now I say all that, but just to bring it back to really like under the hood, or not even under the hood, like explicitly, views really are your views in Phoenix, and your templates get compiled down to a render function in your view file. So at compilation, Phoenix will grab your template. So what's the one have you guys created it yet? No. So we need to create a checkout folder.
Okay. You want me to do that?
Or yeah, sure.
Okay. So Mango Web templates you're talking about right now.
Yep.
And then inside templates, new folder. Then I'm going to do a checkout folder.
Yep.
Okay. Inside the checkout folder, look at the folder because it's empty, maybe. So inside of that, we're going to do like a checkout.html.eex. No, it's not checkout. It's called like index. Edit. Oh, that's right. Edit. And HTML. Yeah. It's EEX because it's embedded Elixir.
Exactly. So going right off of that point, Phoenix will take off that at compilation. It'll take off that EEX. It'll take everything that we have in our template file there, and it'll convert it into a render function in our view. So in our view, you know how we're calling in our show, in our controller, we're actually calling this render function. Phoenix will prepare that render function for us, and it'll base it. We can actually be explicit about it. Like we have it here, like in our cart, we actually have one, I think. Yeah, that we did last week, right there. So, and you could have multiple render functions, but one of those are our templates. It'll strip out the EEX and just create a render function based off of it. So that's why I was saying it really still is a view in Phoenix. But yeah, just if you wanna keep it simple, like yeah, you're trying to just understand how Phoenix works, then you could keep it simple and just sort of lie to yourself for a little bit. and think that templates are like views in Rails, and views are like helpers in Rails, because in the views folder in your view files, you can add like sort of little helper functions like we have here.
So yeah, you're saying it's gonna like strip off the EEX and it's gonna render like just the HTML.
It's gonna create a compiled render function for you that will be called like whenever you call it. So we're gonna call it in our checkout controller.
So these like render these. So okay, I don't remember seeing this. This render function that like when we're calling render from the controller, we're actually calling this view function.
Our view render function,
Yeah.
which can be our template that Phoenix will convert into a render function. You know, speaking of reading the book, if I think I could find it,
Yeah,
it probably does a better job of.
I mean, yeah, I'm really. You were talking to Mike about reading the book, and I was like, they're like, yeah, Mike, read the book. No, not that I have, but and you know, I was thinking like when I'm on the plane, I need to do that.
I'm pretty sure speed function. I think it was like an aside. I'm like just doing a straight render search. There's a lot of renders. And I'm gonna go through all of them.
Yeah, that's a long list.
All right. Was it up here? Hang on. I thought it was like an aside. Is given. No. Okay, and the easy answer is going to be, hey, just read the whole book. Just get caught up. You'll find it eventually.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know. I guess it'll be even easier. How does render view, I don't know, template EX Phoenix work? This might do it.
Elixir forum.
No, I don't think so. Just read the book, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do a search of your own. It's like in chapter. Let me see if I can do it just quickly from the contents, table of contents. Just enough. So it's like in probably. Nope, I couldn't do it. Just off the contents. You know what? Just to help you guys out, I'll do a search of it. I'll find the exact page number after the mob, and it'll take me, so I don't take up any more time. And then I'll assign it to you guys, and then next week I'll be like, hey guys, how do templates work in Phoenix? And then you guys will explain it back to me.
Explain the differences between helpers and Rails and used in Elixir.
But yeah, as I recall, he did like a little aside, like he does sometimes, and explained it fairly well. So back to what we're doing, we just added the HTML file, the template. Did you add this, Matt?
No, I didn't. I didn't add anything. Just to check out. Okay.
Yeah, H1. And I think I'm
I went
sorry,
to
Mike.
view.
Go ahead.
No, just looking at the view, so I need to find where.
Yeah, as I was trying to explain that, I think, did someone add the view? Was that you, Mike?
There, yeah.
Okay, so I think Mike did. Or it was already there.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you add that, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I miss anything?
How long were you gone?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Mike's making that up because I had just assigned like a whole bunch of homework.
Yeah, that's how he's like, oh, I didn't hear anything. What are you talking about, homework?
So
Yeah.
you're okay. No, what it was is I was kind of wasting time trying to find the explanation that he has about how he takes how templates are transpiled down into like a render function. And so I said I'll just look for it after the mob and I'll give it to you guys and I'll ask you guys to explain it to me next week.
Yeah, I had that.
Okay.
I just missed anything after that.
Okay. I don't think so. I was just asking if you had created this. So I think, let's see here. Yeah, I guess we could like just walk through this, like actually use it, to sort of figure out where we are. And then we're going to do a little bit of like refactoring of our routes. And I think, I don't think we're going to actually, unless you guys want to, we could keep going to like actually writing the functionality. Might take a little more time. I figure we probably won't get past like 7.4. This is like our next user story that we kind of referenced. So we could try to get right up to that. So if we go over here to check out, so an easy way to be if I just click on it here, and that's what Matt just added. I should not be able to see that though, even though we don't have like much here yet to actually be able to check out. We're gonna do that, probably next week. I still should be like redirected to log in, and I was not redirected to log in.
Yep. This is what you're talking about, being authenticated.
Exactly. So we're gonna do that through a couple of plugs, actually just one plug, that we're gonna create. But before we do that, let's go ahead and do this router refactoring. I don't know, it's not really refactoring. I guess it's just like organizing it a little better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create this front end pipeline, and so if we take a look at our current router file, let me pull that up again. So right here. Oh, sorry, I had it open, I guess. So you know how we added these, a while back. These are exactly what they're called. How we name them. It's to load our customer. It's to fetch our cart. What we're gonna do now is sort of put back the what Phoenix gives us right out of the box. Keep that as sort of our default browser pipeline, and move these to the front end pipeline. So do you want to start doing that, Matt? Essentially create a brand new pipeline. So this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be anywhere. Let me just see how he does it. Yeah, he doesn't actually have like a file I could click on, but it could be like right below the browser one, if you want to do that. And yeah, so we're just calling it front end.
Where am I going to do that? Then there's the browser one, and that's open and that's closed. So scope. No, I don't need scope. What am I doing?
So we're creating a brand new pipeline called front end. So if you want to put it like at the top, if you want to put it right below the browser one.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm creating a whole new routing thing instead of a new pipeline. Oh yeah, so there's like pipeline API, for example. This one's going to be pipeline front end view, and then inside there's going to be an end there.
What's the pipeline for?
Yeah, so I'll explain that in 1 second, Mike. Matt, if you just want to move down the sort of the custom ones that we created earlier, these two right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Put them in there. And so, Mike, what Matt just did there, he sort of reverted our browser pipeline back to how it was out of the box with Phoenix. And now we created this front end one. And if you look down, let's see here. So this is like just like a regular request started in our root. So like, for example, right now we're doing like cart and checkout. So in when there's a request, Phoenix will check the endpoint and it will try to match one of these routes. You know, if it's a get, if it's a post, match it to an endpoint here. And once it locates it, like this one that we're doing right now, it will see if there's any, using this pipe through macro, if there's any pipelines that we need to call before actually being redirected to like the edit action, which is what's going to happen here. So before doing that, it's going to run through the whole browser pipeline because we specified that here. And so we will have our connection struct, our connection like object, our con, and a plug will take in a con, it'll modify it a little bit, and it'll return a con. So it's kind of like a pipeline actually. So fit name. And it's gonna do all these things here. And what we're gonna do now after that is call also our front end. So the connection that gets returned from here will get passed back into this one here. Once we're done with all this, once we're done with all the pipelines, our con will be passed to our controller and specifically to our edit action that we just added a little while ago. So that's kind of how that works. Now, let's just finish organizing here. So we're going to have the unauthenticated scope and the authenticated scope. If you notice here, we're going to, for the unauthenticated one, we're going to add that front end pipeline too. And for authenticated, we're just going to add this extra plug sort of directly into there instead of creating a brand new pipeline. So let's do that. And unfortunately, he doesn't have like a file I can click on. So maybe we can all try to modify this. Actually, thinking about it, it's not that much. Mike, do you want to maybe add this? And it's really a modification.
Yeah, where exactly do I do that?
So-
That's in the get login.
On line, what is it,
22.
line 22? Yeah.
Line 22.
Yeah, so it's just converting it into a list.
Yeah, I think there's a pipe through already. Pipe through.
Yeah.
So I need to change it to have like an array here.
Yeah, and sorry, we don't have arrays in Elixir. There is like technically, if you get into under the hood of Ecto, there's like something called like an Ecto array type. But even under the hood of that, it's really a map. So these are lists, more like Python.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
So do I delete this comment because maybe it's not doing the same thing that
Yeah.
it was?
Good point. So we have that, and now let's see. Login, register. That's, I guess. Matt, do you want to like reorganize those? I guess. Since you're good with the Alt button.
Yep. So these login, log out are like going above these there, I think. I think this category goes down.
Yeah, the carts are going to be at the very bottom.
And
Do we have these updates actually? Oh yeah, we do. But we only have one. That is weird. Oops. Sorry, I think I did like a back on accident. So, yeah, I'll just stay on this while it's reloading my C9 again. Yeah, we don't have. Oh, okay. I guess we maybe only have the put, and we don't have the patch probably.
login. So login. Where there's no log out, I guess.
Yeah. Just it's fine where you have it, where you had it, and yeah.
Oh. What I wanted that. The checkout as well. Does he not have that checkout there anywhere?
So that's where we get into our authenticated access.
Ah, right. Oh, yeah, because you don't need to be authenticated to log in or log out.
Yeah,
Register.
actually, yeah. Thinking about it, yeah. Log
Oh,
out.
actually, you do need to, yeah, because if you're not logged in, then you can't log out.
Yeah, that makes sense if you think about it, right? But why think about it?
Yeah.
So let's do that. This one we're gonna have to create like a brand new scope for this. And let me see if my C9's reloaded. I guess I have to go back directly to it. Do you want to start creating a brand new scope for us?
Just share the link on the chat. Maybe you can click on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we need a brand new scope,
Yep.
which will be very similar. I don't know if we want to all start typing it.
Through, yeah. So just kind of copy and paste that first part and add to the list, not the array, the authenticate customer.
Yeah,
okay.
Come on, Mike. Sorry.
I'm glad you said it because I would have said it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize people, have like different naming conventions. And I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? Mango.web.authenticate customer.
Yeah, sorry, it's Mango plugs. Mango.plugs.
Mango.plugs.authenticate. Yeah. Makes sense. Why would it be Mango Web? mango.plugs.authenticate customer. And then we take this one. Let's move this down first, and then we can move these two down together.
Are you just moving things around? Or?
Yeah, just for fun.
Okay, just refactoring. Okay.
Yeah, we added a new scope that's gonna the plug is it's gonna go through all the browser ones, and then it's gonna go through all the front end ones, and then it's gonna have the additional step to authenticate the customer.
Yeah, so I might just sort of add this little comment here. So maybe take out this. It's a little more clear. Routes that do require authentication, so they're going to be within this scope. So this is, a very similar scope. But remember, so I mean, it's exactly the same line there, 21 and 38. But what sort of Phoenix does is it first matches the actual route, and then it sort of comes back up and sees, do I need to run this first through any pipelines? And so here we're saying, yes, for these two routes, we need to run it through these three pipelines. And it's actually these two pipelines and an additional plug. If it matches for any of these up here, it's only going to do the browser in the front end. So something that we're going to do here in a minute, we may or may not do, is write this plug here to do exactly what it says, authenticate our customer. And I think we have that done. So routes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're done with the router. So it'd be interesting to, before we do anything else, is just try to do the exact same thing that I did. Except for one thing. When you change your router file, you have to restart the server.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, Mike, do you want to restart the server for us?
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'll head over there, I guess. So here I can maybe still go to it. No, so it's down for a second. If Mike had not stopped it, I probably could have still headed there directly. But
come on, Mike.
I think there is something breaking it. I don't know.
Oh, really?
When I run the server, it doesn't just run.
What?
That makes sense. This is perfect. Yeah. So does it make sense why it's not?
Yes, because authenticate customer is not available.
Exactly.
Authenticate isn't available. Okay. Module.
So that plug, and it's because we haven't written it yet. So let me see. That's 7.3. I sort of, what I mentioned earlier, to sort of complete a process or a user story was to get through 7.4. So Matt, you probably have to go. I mean, I'm guessing this might take us like 10 minutes without deep explanation.
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I need deep explanation.
Yeah.
Or it might take like 20 minutes with explanation.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I guess I have to go as well.
You need
What's
to go
that,
now?
Mike?
You need to go in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I have a guy who has come to see me. So yeah.
That's very cryptic.
Yeah.
What I can do is, what I could do is, let's just get up to 7.4. Not 7.4. Yeah, 7.4. So I'll just copy and paste this here quickly. and at least we won't get that error. But it won't do like exactly everything. It'll still redirect us to the home page instead of wherever we were trying to head to originally. So let me do that quickly.
Page. Because you don't have a login page.
Oh, we do have a login page. It's because we're not going to tell it specifically to redirect. Like, let's say I was trying to head to like the checkout actually. Once I'm redirected to login through this plug here, it's actually going to redirect me to the home page instead of back to the checkout. And so that whole back to the checkout thing will be 7.4. Remember the redirect time. So we won't do that today. Let me just copy and paste this. Does someone want to create the file quickly?
Which file?
Yeah, would you know where that is? So that's in our plugs folder.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the plugs folder. And this file is called authenticate customer.
Customer.
I get what you're doing there. It's like you see that there's a fetch card.ex and there's a load customer.ex and now there's an authenticate customer.ex. And then you go there and then Federico's going to copy and paste.
Yep. Thank you. So just quickly, we're doing a case statement here, and if there's no current customer, it'll be nil. So it'll be, we'll put a flash, he must be signed in, and we'll redirect to the login. If we do have a current customer, it'll just return the con. And by return the con, that means specifically here when we call it, it'll return the con. And since this will be the very end of all our pipelines, this con will be the one that's taken into our checkout controller. It'll be this specific one that gets passed in right there, thanks to our router file right here, calling our edit action. So I think I added it, the plug. I think I saved it. So now, Mike, if you still don't have to leave, if you want to just try to rerun the server, it should work now. Oh, what happened? Authenticate customer. Not available.
Even when you make a change to the plugs, you need to restart the. Oh, you're trying to restart now. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Authenticate customer. Authenticate customer. Did I save? Oh, did Federico save? Looks
The paster. Okay.
The paster. Too many tabs open. Can't even see all the tabs. I can just click on that. Authenticate customer. If I say it enough times, it'll. Mango. Oh, is it Mango Web plugs? Or Mango.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That must be a typo in the book.
Because we're in Mango Web, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be on mine. It should be Mango Web plugs.
Yeah, exactly. That's a typo. Or was it? I think it was a typo.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. It's a typo in the book. Not a typo. So now, Mike, try again.
I hope I remember when I get there.
Did I save? Hopefully I saved.
Okay, there we go. It's working now. So I'll go back over here. I'll try to, let me go to the cart first. Cart. That's working, hopefully. Click on checkout. And, oh no.
Oh!
So,
yeah.
I forgot. It's like tester at. The thing is, I'm gonna have to create like a test. Test 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I forgot about Ray.
Yeah. So I could take the time to create a new user quickly here, but you guys kind of get the point of what happens. Once I try to log in, if I take the time to do that, it'll redirect me back to the home page. And what we're going to want is, since we're heading to the checkout, what we're going to do next week is make it so that it redirects to the checkout instead of the homepage. So that was a pretty good session, guys. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Matt. You guys got things to do. I'll let you do that. I'll commit the changes and push them up.
Yeah, buy a mouse. Buy a mouse. Buy a mouse.
Yes, I'm going.
All right, guys.
I have stuff to do though. All right.
Yeah.
Hey.